Good morning, everyone. This is Brad Matheny. Today is the 8th of July. And yes, it is again very early before the sunrise out here in California. This is the Plan Your Trade video for July 8th. We are looking at the markets, the SPY pre-market. We're up to 544.87. You can see where that puts us right here. Let me drag this out. I have linked yesterday's video to this. I have gone out. Let me share this a little bit with you first. Sorry, still working on my first cup of coffee here. And here we go. This is the next 3 weeks of projected price data going forward using my SPY cycle patterns. Now, I expect markets to continue to flush higher into early earnings. I expect the markets to reach a peak somewhere around this 566 to 5, call it 70, 72 area, up in this area over the next 4, 5, 6 days. I expect there to be, and I'm going to make this very dark so you can see it. I expect there to be a last engulfing pattern here on the 15th of July. I expect this to be the last exhaustion rally phase in the market going forward. And I think this is going to be the top. It's either going to be here or here, meaning on the 11th or the Monday of the 15th. Then I believe we get a couple of days of contraction. We move that out of the way. A couple of days down here, down into here. Then we rebound off of this support level, roughly 554, just below that, possibly, and then move into consolidation. I will be going over all of this with you out to the next 2, 3 weeks. Now, remember, projecting future price trend like I'm trying to do is very, very difficult. Again, if you know anybody that can predict 2, 3, 4 weeks out into the future, let me know, especially if they can do it accurately. I'm not even guessing that I'm going to be somewhat accurate out in this area. This is 3 weeks, 4 weeks out. Lots of things can change. We could be up in this area, we could be down in this area. This next week or so, kind of like I did back over here. I think I really I hate to say it, got lucky back over here through the holidays. Maybe I just got really good at projecting what's going to happen. But as I told you in my last video, when I look at these, really, I'm looking at what makes sense to me. I'm looking at the cycle patterns. I'm determining what makes sense to me based on what I believe is, likely to happen in the near future. And I'm using Fibonacci techniques. I'm using anchor bar and flagging techniques, knowing that price typically moves in a trend or non-trend mode, meaning it's either trending or flagging. So I believe we continue to trend out and then move down here into consolidation. Okay. Eventually, this move here on the 25th and 24th is going to be a great base for us to potentially see the next leg higher into, the later stage of earnings. I think this level here becomes very, very volatile. And we're going to see what happens going forward. So, right now, we come back over here and pay attention just to what's going on today. So we have Monday. We have a lot of news coming out. I'm expecting in this range. I would expect that we would continue to see some sort of potential early morning flagging, potentially retracing down here off of some news. So again, I would kind of draw a flag set up like this, basically saying that we could see some sort of a channeling into the early morning before we move into some upward move. And I would have guessed that we're going to end the SPY probably around 588, maybe 558 to 557.60. So somewhere in this range here, I am guessing that we are going to continue to move. That's where we're likely going to close today. Tomorrow, I would suggest that we're likely going to close a little higher up near this upper channel. and that would put us at about 561, 561 and a half, maybe. So you have a pretty good indication of where we're at over the next couple of days. I think this move into Wednesday probably will be fairly strong. And then, like I said, we move into that topping pattern, and that's about it. So you really have, if I were to give you my 10 cents, whatever you want to call it, piece of advice, you have maybe 3 or 4 days before we get into some volatility up here trying to set up a last top and then move downward. So you have 3 or 4 days maybe of upward trending with my cycle patterns. And of course, this is predicting the future is you can't bank on it. Trust me. This is if I get lucky and predict this moving higher, and this is what really does happen, wonderful. But remember, this is very difficult. I'm not saying, I mean, any, can you say anybody can predict the future? No. I mean, even I don't believe I can predict the future accurately. What I can do is I can take my data, my information, my cycle patterns, and my skills and my knowledge and attempt to formulate some clue, some estimate as to what might happen, and this is my estimate. This is my best guess scenario as to what is going to happen over the next 15 trading days. So you have essentially a rally phase moving up into a breakdown phase here, setting up a decent potential double low here, then setting up a potential new rally phase going from here to the upside. And that is essentially what I believe is going to happen. Now, let's take a look at this on a daily chart so you get a real solid understanding of what's going on. Okay, auto scale, come back over here. Whoops. Come back over here, spread this out, drag this back over, and here you go. There's what it looks like on a daily chart for the SPY. Rally, 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 stall, exhaustion top, breakdown for 2 or 3 days, flagging. You can see the flag I've drawn here in the blue line, eventually basing over here and then moving into a new rally phase up to 580. That's going to give us a very solid opportunity to the upside. And the QQQs will likely do the same thing. So if I were to come in here, try to give you an idea, you're going to be looking at a potential rally here, a potential rally here, a potential rally here, maybe even a bit more aggressive. So I'll just drag these up a little. Then we move into the exhaustion peak pattern, possibly right up in this area, moving into our consolidation inside bar, moving into our last peak pattern, moving into our exhaustion breakdown, which will last a bit for 2 or 3 days, and then moving into some consolidation. Oops. And again, I'm just drawing these fairly quickly off of memory from the previous chart. And then eventually moving into our breakout. And that gives us a pretty clear example here that we are looking at this type of a sideways flagging formation across here. Try to do this in light blue again. And then we have the flagging formation across here, setting up this rally phase into the apex, into the breakout. I may have added one extra bar here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Maybe not. Okay, so there you go. There's your outline of kind of what I expect. This basically creates a scenario here where we have about a 3 to 3.5% upside move to this level. Then we're going to see a potential breakdown of maybe 2.25%. Then we're going to end up in this flagging sideways mode. This is typically going to be fairly volatile, maybe in this range, maybe actually a little bigger, maybe up in this range, flagging. And then we're eventually going to move into this breakout channel around the 24th, 25th. This is where I think we're going to move into the next big acceleration wave, which means you have this wave to trade, you have this wave to trade, which are very clear opportunities. And then you have this last wave here, which should be a very big opportunity to the upside. This is where I would tell you to avoid getting overly aggressive in this market trend unless you're very skilled at day trading. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for now. We'll see what happens. Remember, follow along, share my videos, tell people what I'm doing, and take a look at my trading videos on my trading view profile. There's a ton of videos out there for you guys to go learn and see what I do and understand how I see the markets play out. Also, check my website to learn more about what I'm doing for other people and my more detailed research. This is just really to show you what my cycle patterns are capable of and how I'm able to take this data and somewhat accurately apply it to the market trend. All right, guys, talk to you later.